Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? This is actually take two for me. I started recording a video, but then there was something happened outside, and I needed to um, make sure. Well, basically, office staff was coming around. I think they were um, next door, but it sounded like, because our doors were like right there next to each other. So I was making sure I didn't miss them knocking on my door, needing to talk to me about something or whatever. But yeah, the video I was actually recording. I am saving, I am backing it up to my cloud. But I was, unfortunately, y'all are going to be missing me torturing poor possum. She was preening, licking, fixing her hair, being the little Miss Diva like she does quite frequently, and I kept messing it up. So yeah, and it was showing her being all pissed off and so on and so forth. Yeah. So, but that's okay. I'm like no, and I instead of pausing, I stopped the video, and I don't know how to combine videos or whatever. So, my background is in video production. So, ah, but anyway. I'm gonna maybe I'll throw it up as a short. I don't know, but yeah, she was really being cute, and I just got done watching MJ's video over there on Soulful Revolution, watching each of my signs that I um, uh, um, watch. Typically, I watch my Sun, Moon, and Rising, North Node, and Lilith is what I usually watch. So, and I was watching videos with in regards to somebody else, or but it's like no, that situation is over and done with. So I'm moving on. But anywho, um, so and oh, that was the other thing I mentioned in the other video is the fact that well, first of all, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Okay, and I was letting you all know that basically this is a video journal. Okay, started it. Uh, I know I started this channel. I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago. I'm not really entirely too sure. I know it has morphed quite a bit. I was doing online tarot readings for a while, not one on one, but general readings like you find out there. But it was basically a suggestion of somebody I knew at the time, but I didn't feel comfortable with it, mostly because I consider the readings that I do, to me, for me, my spirituality is very personal. And yeah, I talk about it, don't get me wrong, and everything. And I do share the readings, but I felt like with what I was doing, with the road that I was going down with it, it's it wasn't me. It went against what I believe in. So I'm like, no. So I stopped doing it. Um, so anyway, yeah. But I don't mind sharing my readings, in case they might resonate with somebody else also. And also, it's part of the journal. That's the way I look at it. And then that way too, when I am out there on the road or whatever, and something happens and it might trigger, oh yeah, I did put that. This kind of resonates with this reading or whatever, or maybe this card or something like that. Then I can go back and look at it. So that's the reason why I like to share them and everything. Those reasons. So anyway, but it's the and it started off with me basically kind of doing a journal, kind of talking about spirituality, self improvement, things like that, with my morning walks that I used to do. Uh, But then it kind of morphed into that. Then was stopping doing things, and I started picking up doing the videos again, but I still had no idea. But it was again doing morning walks, not really knowing what in the world I was doing with it. And then last summer, I started talking about my health issues, mostly because I've been dealing with these respiratory issues since I had some sort of virus a couple of years ago. I believe it was COVID. I don't know for certain, but that's what I believe I had. It was the Omicron variant, and I never really got over it. And I kept running into roadblocks with getting help. And then in the process, I found out that I had become a type 1 diabetic. And so I was dealing with that, but I was still dealing with the respiratory issues. And I wasn't really getting much in the way of help. And I finally was, at least not, there's only so much that the family doctor, can do, basically a GP can do. And I just kept having these recurring problems, and I'm like, hey, I need to see a specialist. And I kept running into issues with finding a decent specialist, or I found one, but unfortunately that wound up backfiring. So yeah, it's been a long road, but I am seeing somebody now. I was skeptical of him. I still am. I'm not gonna lie. I still am a little skeptical of him. But at the same point, there's certain things that he has done and he has said that tells me he is trying to actually help me. He does care and he is trying to help. So that's. But I started doing the videos because also felt like nobody was listening to me, and I wanted to document, to show what it was going on, so that way they could see it, or when I go to see them and I'm feeling fine, but this is what I'm dealing with. And that's just kind of how the channel has morphed um, throughout its existence. So, and I'll admit to, oh, that's right. Initially, I started on that way because I had a sticker business for like calendars and like Happy Planner sort of type of calendars, um, scrapbookers, journalists, not journalists as in news people, but people who like to journal. Okay, but they like to incorporate stickers and so forth. So anyway, and yeah, like I said, the this channel has morphed, but ultimately I'm just like, you know what? And when I close the sticker business, it's like, you know what? I am just going to, I've really started finding that coming up here and just talking, you know, whether anybody's listening or not. Okay, fine. I know. Kind of getting a little bit of a lag here with the video. I apologize. But yeah, I am finding that I just like talking. And like I said, whether anybody's listening or not, if anything I have to say helps somebody, or if it gets a message out or something like that, great. But I'm finding that I just like to come up here and just talk. I have always been somebody who I don't do well with keeping things bottled up inside of me. I really don't. It just it winds up becoming toxic sludge or what have you with in me, you know? And I wrestle with, I try, and internalize like everybody wants you to do and so forth. But that really, it has the opposite effect. We do need to talk about things because it's the only way we can really truly understand what's going on with people, with each other and so forth. Some people, it may not be a good a situation for them. Maybe some people just can't, but some people like me do better with talking things out. And I'm not somebody who feels comfortable going and talking to a shrink in that sort of environment. I just don't. That's not for me. It may be okay for some other people, but for me, it isn't. And it's like, okay, maybe this is a better outlet for me to be able to hash things out and so forth. And it also documents my journey. And I will admit that I am going down a new path, and I would like to document that path because I'm moving towards something beautiful. I'm already on a path that is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the direction that I'm heading with the goal that I have in mind, the goals, excuse me, that I have in mind, that's very, very beautiful. And what's beautiful is that I'm working on it right now. And I want to be able to document that, because unfortunately we can all wind up getting so wrapped up in ourselves and so forth, our own troubles and everything. And if you can see somebody who is who has goals in mind, who has a beautiful future that they're going towards, and see the progress that they are making, that can be inspiring for somebody else to do the same thing. hmm So, anyway, uh, I am noticing here lately with my respiratory issues that I have been having a few more asthma attacks, I guess you could call them. I don't know what else to call them, even though I haven't been diagnosed an asthmatic. I officially am not an asthmatic. I have been diagnosed with general terms of pre-asthmatic or reactive airway disease. I was like, what does RAD stand for? They're more generalized terms than actual clinical di- uh, um, diagnoses. Basically, they give these quote diagnoses or whatever to people who uh, we don't fall into any particular category or that is an official diagnosis. Okay, unfortunately, it's not. This isn't considered to be an official. Um, if you look at reactive airway disease, it's not considered to be an official clinical term. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, it's more of a generalized thing because they can't. Nobody has basically made it official. Is what it boils down to. So anyway, that's kind of I have anyway. Like I was saying, I have noticed that I've been having more and more. I started an inhaler, and but it was too much. The side effects were just horrible. So he switched me over to this one. But the other one was more for asthmatics. This one is more geared towards people like me with RAD. Okay. And the one that I'm on, or possibly lighter asthmatics or whatever, this one is called Asthminix. Okay. I've been on this for, I'm trying to remember. I think I've been on it for about a month now, something like that. I know I didn't wasn't taking it when he initially prescribed it to me because of the side effects that I had with the other, and now that I'm living on my own and I need to make sure that I'm able to still be able to work and everything, because the other one with the side effects that I had, it cramped up my legs and my feet so horribly bad I couldn't move for 3 days, and I can't afford that now. So and especially since help, actually, financial help, is few and far between out there, or it could take you months, if not years, to get any sort of assistance, and I can't afford that. I have to be able to pay rent every single week, so me missing any sort of work, it can be very detrimental, and especially with the other financial situation, because this whole mess has created also a huge financial mess for me. So I'm trying to, on the one hand, I'm trying to make sure that I have a roof over my head, or our heads, because I don't want to see her have to be living on the streets either. I'm having to make sure I'm taking care of that first, but at the same point, I also need to be able to take care of other issues, or things, also at the same time. And unfortunately, people are being impatient, some of them, but it's like, you know what? Too fucking bad. Okay? It's either I pay you or I live on the streets, and then I'm still not going to be able to pay you. So take your pick. And I also need to be able to eat. And my food stamps got slashed, because now I'm making too much money. My Medicaid, this is my last month for Medicaid, so I've been working with a broker to see about getting, because unfortunately the process, I'm not too sure, how to go about it or anything, because I also need to make sure that my Medicaid benefits, I'm able to transfer over my doctors and all of my prescriptions over to a new plan for at least the month of December. Then had to get another new plan for next year. That's what I'm learning. I thought I would be signing up for a plan for starting in December, and it would last for a whole year, but no, that's not the case. I have to have a plan for 1 month, and then I have to get another plan for 2025. I had no idea. So that's what I mean. And I also don't know how to go about, researching, each of those criteria I was just talking about, to make sure that any sort of new insurance plans that are recommended, they're going to be covering all of those, because I have a good team of doctors now. I don't want to lose them. It's taken me 2 years to get these people in my life. And before, I was never seeing any doctors because, let's put it this way. There's a saying that when I moved to Las Vegas. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, not Las Vegas, New Mexico. There is a Las Vegas, New Mexico, by the way. I moved here almost 20 years ago. End of January, beginning of February would make 20 years. And shortly after I moved here, somebody had told me something that has really stuck with me. It was when I was shopping around for car insurance. And I was finding how expensive car insurance is here. And it's like, one agent had told me, Vegas is known for a lot of things, but it's not for cheap car insurance. And that has stuck with me. And I apply that to the healthcare system here. Vegas is known for a lot of things, but not good healthcare. Yeah, because our healthcare system here sucks. It's shitty. Even our our urgent, our primary hospital. I mean, we have several hospitals, but the critical care hospital or whatever, that takes, the dire emergencies, and so forth. That hospital has the worst rating in the area. Yeah, that sucks. That's bad. So, but anyway, so yeah, that's what I mean. Before, I never saw any doctors because of all of this, but I feel that spirit has been guiding me with finding the right doctors and so forth, and I don't want to lose them. I really don't. So I know at some point, I will have to, because people retire and so on and so forth. But at least for right now, while I'm going through all of this, I have good doctors. Okay, that's my thing. And at some point, I know that I want to be able to move. And of course, I'm going to have to start the process all over again and everything. But while I'm going through this, I want to make sure I'm able to keep my doctors. So that's why I need the broker. You know, I have no idea how any of these systems work or anything. So anyway, yeah, I've noticed I've been dealing with asthma attacks a little bit more, a little bit more. I'm supposed to be doing the inhaler, two puffs in the morning, two puffs in the evening. I've only been doing the one while I've been trying to get my body acclimated and everything because it has been a process. There's been stiffness and cramping and I even got my period back, and I'm supposed to be going through menopause, all this sort of stuff. And it's like, yeah, I need to ease into this. And so that's what I've been doing. But I've been noticing that I've been having more and more attacks. And like last night, I had done this. I've been doing deliveries because I get around certain aromas and so forth, and my airways just constrict right up. It's horrible, and I can't breathe. Even a shampoo that I had thought I would try here recently, I used it once, and I about nearly died. It was that bad. So anyway, last night when I was doing a delivery, it was on a second floor, and we're trying to find the apartment first, and then going upstairs and so forth. I got winded pretty bad, and it was like, okay. And I noticed that earlier also with a grocery delivery I was doing. It was three different stops with three different orders, one of those sort of situations. But anyway, yeah, I'm like, you know what? I think I need to increase it now. I think it's time for me to increase it. So when I got home, I'm still doing it at home because, strictly because it has a tendency to make me lightheaded, and dizzy, and tired. And if I do it like just before I am going to go to bed, then I'm sleeping it off basically, just like with my insulin. But I definitely noticed a difference. I am breathing better. So yeah, I did the two puffs. If at some point I feel confident, unless I do see him, the pulmonologist again next week. So I think it's next Thursday. I know it's the 21st. I think that's Thursday. Um, but if unless he decides to try and switch me, then I'll just continue to do this. I have noticed that my joints are a little bit stiff today and a little bit of swelling. I know I'm only wearing my one ring because swelling was by rights. I really had that with this ring. I had bought two others also, and the idea was I have one that's amethyst and that's also a rose quartz. The rose quartz I was going to wear here, in between the other two rings, and the amethyst is just like with this one, with the crescent moon and adjustable and so forth. And I was going to wear the amethyst on this on my ring finger, and then this one on my index finger. They fit perfectly that way. But really, by rights, I should be wearing this one on on my ring finger, because this is my birthstone, and I was born on a waning crescent moon. Um, so by rights, that's why I should be wearing because I'm married to myself, I'm the one who's most important reminder of that. But it kind of got switched or whatever, and it tends to be a bit loose on this finger. But right now, with me being swollen, it's like, okay, no problem. So I'll just do that. But at some point, I unfortunately, the amethyst ring got damaged, so I need to get that taken care of, fixed. And I know it can be repaired. And then the rose quartz one, unfortunately, I didn't realize I bought it up online. I didn't realize when I had looked at it that what's holding the stone in place is only two prongs. And that's a big no no, especially with the position of the two prongs. It's like, yeah, no. Um, but so I need to have a couple of additional prongs put in. And then I want to get this one resized a little bit, and so that way I can wear all three of them. And then I usually would wear my right hand on the ring finger. I guess it would be the Jewish ring finger or whatever. I have a Zuni sun god, and I've had that for over 15 years, and unfortunately, it it came the god himself got pried himself free from the ring itself. But I need to get that resized also, especially with swelling that I'm doing. Get it a little bit looser so I can have some play there. And I want to get some also other rings for these two fingers. I just haven't found the ones yet for those fingers. But that was what I've been working towards. And I also want, as far as my bracelets are concerned, I wanted to get some black tourmaline and onyx along with my jades here that I have. So, and I think this one might be rose quartz. But I'm not too sure. But anyway, I was told that it was pink jade, but so I'm sticking with it. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with all of that. Work was really great last night. Great flow. Yesterday, Saturn went direct. Yay. Just in time for Pluto to be exiting Capricorn here next Tuesday. Yeah, I think that it either is exiting that day or is the last day going to be in Capricorn. I double check that for me. And of course, yesterday we had full moon in Taurus. It happened at 1:26, I believe it was Pacific time. I know it was 1:20 something. I think it was 1:26 Pacific time. Beautiful, beautiful moonrise last night. Gorgeous. We weren't really able to see it here because we had storm system go through. This one that they've been kind of talking about where it might bring a little bit of rain. Yeah, it sprinkled a little bit, but no big deal. But also possibly snow. Definitely didn't get any snow here in the valley, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got some up there in the mountain. So yeah, we had a lot of cloud coverage, but she did peak out quite a bit last night, and it did clear up and everything. And I do have this one tradition that I like to do because one of my spirit animals is the coyote, and I've noticed anytime I start getting a little tense or what have you, I'll, ha- I'll have one of my spirit animals come around. At night, if it's at nighttime, I'll see a coyote. During the day. Like yesterday, I was hearing hummingbirds quite a bit, and the hummingbird was actually the first one that was revealed to me as one of my spirit animals. Um, but anyway, yeah, one of the things that I like to do with the full moon, got to paying homage to my coyote animal spirit, is I like to howl, yeah, at the full moon. I just go, oh, 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 just like the coyotes do. Oh, I love coyotes. They are just so beautiful. So I love them. They are such cool creatures. Beautiful, beautiful animals. So anyway, uh, yeah, like I said, otherwise, aside from, and oh gosh, I was just really, really busy last night, and I started noticing that I think that it's at one point I was one of the few drivers who were actually left out there doing deliveries because all of a sudden I started getting pulled um, a lot, with driving long distances to pick up orders. And then the last one that I had accepted, it was a shopping order at CVS, basically. I thought it was going to be this one CVS that's on the corner of Windmill and South Las Vegas Boulevard. But Las Vegas Boulevard is more than just a strip. It's actually a very long road. It could take you a good hour to drive the full length of it. But anyway, I thought it was there, and then I'm going, and the directions are taking me someplace else. I'm like, what in the world is this doing? And then it dawned on me, oh, it's one of them that's right on the strip, which means it's probably a tourist, and they're wanting shit delivered directly to the room. I happened to notice it was a case of water. I'm like, oh no, I've handled enough cases of water tonight, especially in the last couple of days. No, canceled. Then I'm like, okay, maybe I can get another order, but it was d- backtracking or far away or whatever, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm done. Went offline. So that was my night last night. So anyway, I just noticed too, it's 30 minutes already, and I need to cut this off. So I hope y'all having a great weekend, having a great day, and I'll talk at you soon. Love you guys. Mwah.